Welcome back, everybody. We are going on to the second set of Group E. It is going to be WandS versus TerrOr, just in case anybody forgot. So, yeah, I already talked up WandS a little bit. He is, of course, the underdog, the dark horse, the one to watch. Hopefully he doesn't just, like, bomb out here 0-2 like everybody else I cheer for. But yeah, I mean, he showed some really interesting PVTs as well in the qualifiers. Like, in particular, one game in the finals, I think he played against, was it Andre? Or maybe it was the semifinals? I can't quite remember. Oh, no, it was a finals against Busy, that's right. It was one of the finals against Busy on match point. He went for a Corsair with D-Web build, the good old Sergoon PVT, which is extremely baller, but like almost impossible to pull off. And it almost worked. In fact, the build did work, but the problem was that Busy's Vulture Harass was so good and his follow-up wasn't, and WandS' follow-up was so poor that even though he won like a huge engagement, it didn't matter, he just lost anyway. So hopefully he's worked on things a little bit. TerrOr, on the other hand, again, I haven't seen him around too much lately. I just know that a couple of weeks ago he did fairly well in one of the Defiler tournaments, but otherwise, haven't really seen him around, so hopefully he's been practicing. I mean, he got to the round of 8 last season, got pretty far, only to be taken out by Michael, who was the eventual second place finisher. So yeah, kind of high hopes for him. I think he's probably one of the best Terrans in the foreign scene right now. I'd say definitely top 3. So, or at least if he's in shape. So should be quite exciting here. And again, we're going to be on Neo Jade. So here we go. Alright, here we go. At the bottom right as the orange Protoss, we do have WandS. At the bottom left as the teal Terran, we have TerrOr. Not to be confused with the Korean TerrOr. Of course, this is a Peruvian Terran player who is pretty darn good. Now, it's interesting because I already mentioned the game that WandS played against Busy, where he went for Sergoon and made it, you know, pulled it off pretty well, but then just got owned by Vulture Harass. And TerrOr is also a Terran who really likes to go for some funky Vulture builds, although generally more in TVZ, I think. I've seen him do a lot of, you know, kind of kooky, fast Vulture timings against, you know, 2 or 3 hatch meter to try and, like, do some Vulture run-bys and slam a bunch of drones. It rarely seems to work out, but at least it's quite fun to watch. Not quite sure if he'll try the same thing here in TVP. I guess we shall see. Anyway, WandS. I'm wondering what kind of game plan WandS has come up here for this group. I mean, it's not really an easy group for him to prepare for. He's got 2 Terrans and a Zerg, essentially. Napoleon is a race picker, but he'll play ZVP. And they all have pretty different styles, I'd say. You know, TTF kind of more the all-in player. I think Napoleon and TerrOr probably a little bit more normal, although again, TerrOr can do some silly things. Looks like no crazy CC first or Nexus first here in this game. WandS just gonna chill. And WandS actually hasn't sent out a scouting probe yet, which is interesting to me. So this is still okay for PVT. In PVT, you don't actually need to probe scout, you know, for a very long time, if at all. You know, sometimes Protoss players will actually just scout with the first Dragoon or the first Zealot. But it looks like WandS is just gonna go after the gas, a little bit after the gas, on 13 supply here. Okay, this is interesting. I would have thought if he's going to go at this time, he might as well just wait for the core and do it with the core probe, but you can see that would have been a little bit later. So I'm not sure if this is just some particular timing he likes, where he's looking for something specific, or it's just something that he does. For example, I always, in PvT, scout after my gateway, but I don't actually have a particularly great reason for that. It just seems to be decent timing. That was cool, by the way. Notice that he saw which way the SEV was coming in and actually managed to fake TerrOr out with the probe direction and make TerrOr go cross map. So that could partly be it. I don't know. It did, like, from that scout timing, it was like almost the absolute perfect timing for his probe to get there. in order to fake out TerrOr's SCV. So I don't know if he's like watched TerrOr replays and like figured out exactly when the SCV scout gets out, because that was really cool there. Of course, all the replays from Defiler tournaments are freely available, as well as from TLS. So so I don't know if he actually particularly studied TerrOr's replays. That would be pretty good. In the meantime, it looks like WandS has actually made a first Zealot here, and he's actually baited the Marine out really far with that Zealot. Somehow TerrOr has the sense to pull it back, although it looks like not all the way back. He does pause a little bit there until he sees that Zealot coming in, so now he knows he has to go all the way back. And oh man, he was actually 2-facting here, so this is going to get completely scouted by WandS with this Zealot. It looks like an SCV finally going to see what WandS is doing as well, but WandS, once he sees his 2-fact, he should be absolutely fine against it. I don't actually know if this Zealot and Probe actually went far enough to see it, though. It is right in the corner of the base. I can remove vision. Did he see it? I'm not quite sure. I cannot quite tell if he has seen that, unfortunately. But he's going to poke in here with the Goon, and I feel like with the Goon here as well, he's definitely going to continue being aggressive, so should hopefully eventually see that. Meanwhile, it looks like this SCV is going to get taken down in the main base, and oh, one SCV falling in the main base of TerrOr as well, and WandS actually being super aggressive. He looks like he's lost his probe though, but oh man, he's taking down all of the Marines, and he definitely sees a second factory now, and looks like, oh, he's going to get the last Marine as well, and man, WandS is just putting the hurt on TerrOr like a boss. I don't think he needs to be overly aggressive with the Goon anymore, because he knows what's coming here. He should be able to defend very easily. Just throw down a second gateway, get a robo for Alms as well if you're not confident. Generally, if you have really good Goon control, and you get the second gateway in time, you don't even need the Alms necessarily, but it looks like because the second gateway is a little bit slower, obviously, he is going to get that for safety. But that was some pretty good aggression here from WandS. He really should save this though. I don't think he needs to risk this at all. He's going to pull back. Of course, it is ideal if he can, delay the attack a little bit. But you need every Goon you can get. So you just want to pick off some free things if you can. Definitely don't want to risk things, especially because I don't know, he does. Yeah, it looks like Goon range did just finish, but yeah, he's going to pull back here. Should maybe think about just holding the high ground there. Although of course TerrOr can move along the bottom here, so he's got to be a little bit wary of that. But yeah, now that he's got the 2 gateways, he's got the robo almost done. He's even getting a 3rd gateway. Look at this. I think that's a bit overkill here. I don't think do you really need 3 gateways? You don't really need 3 gateways against a 2-fact. 2-gate obs is more than enough to deal with it. Those 150 minerals should just be saved for a Nexus. Because you also have to remember that, oh man, please don't walk into these. You also have to remember that, oh god. Oh shit, he took the hit. Oh no. Oh no, go back! Everything's red, dude! Everything's red! Just run away! Just recharge your shields! Okay, now what was I saying? Oh yes, even though he's gonna be able to block the 2-fact, if TerrOr just expands right now, it'll be faster than WandS' expansion, and because with all these mines here, he can't even attack. So I don't really see the point of getting a 3-gate. Although it looks like he did actually stop Goon production in order to get the Nexus. So actually, that is a little bit more reasonable to me. So he gets the 3rd gateway just to be safe, and then if he sees, the attack's not coming, then he just doesn't make Goons and he makes a Nexus. And if he sees an attack coming, then he makes Goons and no Nexus. So it's sort of reasonable. It's kind of like an SE2 where you make a bunch of warp gates, like more than you can actually support, and you just have them, just sitting there idle, to defend drops and stuff. So if you get dropped, you just warp in a whole bunch of dudes right where you need them. Whoa! Hello! Mega run by attempt here, and by attempt I mean success, because 3 of these vultures are going to get into the base and block, or rather mine up these gateways. This Goon needs to just run into the mineral lines and protect the probes, and be careful not to mine bomb the probe line, because there's 2 more mines left in these vultures, but it looks like he is going to be okay here. So nice little harass from TerrOr. But what this should indicate to WandS is that the attack is never going to come, because you can't, TerrOr is out here at the front with the units, but having sacrificed all those vultures, you can see he's only got 1 tank, a few Marines. There's no way he can actually make a real attack happen, right? He's getting another tank, he's getting siege run. It looks like he wants to keep being aggressive, maybe set up some mines, get an advanced contain. But yeah, he's pulling back now. I really don't see how he's going to do that, having sacrificed basically all his vultures. Really what that vulture sacrifice should mean is that he's not actually going to attack anymore. He's just going to try and catch up by killing a lot of probes and expanding behind. And he is sending out an SCV now to do that, although he is a little bit short on money. But WandS, you know, he should know that he's already got his Nexus up, so he doesn't need to be too crazy here. He's got an Ops coming over, so he's going to see no expansion from TerrOr. So he actually, with seeing that lack of expansion from TerrOr still, he should just be very, very defensive here and not allow these vultures to get into the base. Oh man, nice semi-fake out with the SCV there, pulling the goons a little bit out of position here. In fact, going to allow TerrOr to see the 2-base Arbiter follow-up from WandS here. So man, these vultures really doing a number on poor WandS here. This is looking very much like the game against Busy. I don't know if TerrOr actually watched that game and saw how vulnerable WandS was, because this is not ideal. And notice how he's just brought like all of his. Oh no, he's actually okay, he's only brought 5 goons back. But yeah, you know, he's kind of like. In these kinds of situations, it's actually okay to just split your goons up a little bit. You know, you have a few in the main, a few on the natural, and you know, maybe a few like around the gateways or something. Because I think you know, it's also quite possible that TerrOr might follow up with some kind of drop. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Following up with the drops, vulture drops, baby. Oh man, look at it! Look at me calling this shit. Oh yeah. Anyway, yeah, this is definitely a TerrOr-esque thing to do. These goons, by the way, are not in position. They should be like here. So this is not good by WandS. Pretty poor harassment defense, honestly. Should be fairly obvious what's going on. And those mines need to not blow up probes. They can blow up SCVs, but they must not blow up probes. And he's going to continue to lose a few probes here. Meanwhile, notice that TTF actually has still left his dudes in the middle of the map here. I don't think his odds actually quite saw it, because they're a little bit high up. but TTF actually really wants to harass enough that he can get a contain off. And look at this, by pulling all the goons to the main base, he's actually going to get a position here if he moves out now. Although he looks like he's going to wait for the second tank first and actually use the vultures to again try and pull the units back. I don't know why WandS is refusing to like actually split his goons up. Okay, finally moving a few goons back here. But TerrOr looks like he might be trying to hit some kind of some nice timing before the Arbiter actually gets out. And here we go, he's moving up here to the front of the natural. A couple of goons are coming out to block it. Vultures in the main base looks like they're not going to do too much. Whoa, that could have been dangerous. But look at this, TerrOr just kind of showing off his superior multitasking and mechanical skill here by doing this really nice vulture harass while moving in at the front. It looks like these vultures are going to get cleaned up, and it looks like, ooh, nice emergency DT by WandS. Very, very smart to get that. Of course, when you go for a 2-fact opening, you rarely ever have any scans to deal with that, only the mines. So very, very smart to get that. He was already going 2-base Arbiter, and that's actually saved him here. Without that DT, I think he would have gotten the contain. That was actually really smart. I didn't even think of that. Like, it didn't, for some reason, it just didn't even occur to me for him to make a Dark Templar. So that was a really nice, nice little defense there. Anyway, it looks like TerrOr now decides to pull all the way back here. He's actually just run out of vultures to harass with. The dropship's still just chilling there. You know, more vultures can go over there later on when he gets them. And yeah, this is actually looking pretty rough for TerrOr right now. I mean, he does have his 2 bases, but you know, he's barely mining here at the natural. And as we can see, even though WandS has taken, you know, a lot of harassment, he's still got a better saturation than TerrOr does, although not by that much. But more importantly, he's already got his Arbiters on the way, so he's doing pretty well on the tech front. Of course, having gone for the fast drops, TerrOr will be able to get vessels up, you know, relatively quickly if he can afford it, but I don't think he can really afford it. That's the problem. You can see he's actually getting a 3rd command center here, and WandS isn't quite going to see this. But if WandS doesn't get a 3rd of his own relatively soon as well, that may force him into some kind of like 2-base recall all-in. Or you know, even stasising the front tanks as well and just doing a frontal bust here. Even though there is a ramp here with Terran able to take the high ground, it is very, very wide open. So this can actually be, you know, a bit deceptive in its defensive value. I've seen a lot of crazy busts up the wide ramp there that, you know, you think wouldn't be possible, but actually work out pretty well. Nice snipe targeting down the gas drones in particular there. You know, just in case the opponent makes a mistake, doesn't put them back in time, or, you know, even if he does, you're still denying him a little bit of gas there. And in the meantime, looks like TerrOr just going to continue on terrorizing his opponent with his vultures. Giggle, giggle. So, oh, looks like WandS might finally deny this dropship. This thing's been causing him major headaches. He really shouldn't. Look, he's actually going to do a cute little counter DT drop with a single DT. It's not really going to do anything. It's some pretty decent turret coverage. I mean, I guess if he was lucky and there was like mines closer, he might try some kind of mine bomb, but otherwise not going to happen. And I think that dropship has died now. I don't see it running away on the map anywhere. Look at this. TerrOr, by the way, is laying mines in his map as in his main as recall defense. So, you know, having seen the 2-base Arbiter, he doesn't know whether it was stasis first or recall first. We saw that it was stasis first, but it could have been a faster recall, especially because he's getting a fast third here. If WandS had seen this, it would have been very likely for him to actually go for a recall and just go for a really punishing recall against the fast third. But it's actually nothing like that. And WandS, you know, having seen this base established, he's got to do something now. You know, he's getting ready to take his own third, but it's going to be much later than TerrOr's. So, I don't know, is he going to double expand here? He's got to do something, and oh man, really smart there. Look at that, catching the shuttle. Great move by TerrOr. Easy peasy. So looks like the first Arbiter is now out for Sir WandS. And he's not getting recall. Whoa! He's going to do hallucinated recalls. Oh my god, that is going to be awesome. He's going to hallucinate an Arbiter several times and go in with the recall. Oh man, this is going to be so cool. Oh god, that's going to be bad though. Alright, it's not terrible. Man, that's going to be interesting, but that, I mean, it's going to have to do significant damage because, again, his third expansion is way later than TerrOr's and he's not getting a fourth. There's actually Vultures denying his fourth as well. So he's going to have to do a lot of damage, but it could be very effective. I don't see a vessel on the way yet. I don't see EMP being researched. Nope, not yet. I think this will hit before it's actually, before any EMP is ready. The question is, how much damage is he actually going to be able to do here? And how many units will he just lose to the mines? Because as we saw, TerrOr's main is already completely mined up. So depending on where the recall actually hits, WandS could actually just lose his entire army without doing anything, which would be really sad. He really should just cannon his main, by the way, and not leave all these goons here anymore. It was good for the early game, but the general timing in PvT to take your fourth, or sorry, to make your forge is around when you get your third base. That's when you get your first forge, and then you can start cannoning up your mineral lines. Because while this was good in the early game, at this point leaving 4 goons here is not particularly efficient. You'd rather just put 1 or 2 cannons instead, and that's much more useful. Anyway, oh, there's the hallucinations. Here we go, we're going in! I wonder if we got Storm too. Be a bit of a waste to only get Hallus with them. Oh baby, 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 how you doing? Now if TerrOr's smart, he'll actually know that this is the real one because these are like 2 stacked on top of each other. Oh, there's the lift! Recall! Don't do it on the mines, bro! Recall! Not the mines, not the mines! Oh, brutal! Oh man, that didn't go well. Oh shit, that killed like a turret. Nope, didn't kill a turret. He killed... Did he kill an SCV? He may have killed an SCV. Oh, notice he's done the good old ob stack trick. I think it's actually legal now on ladder. If you put an observer directly over a turret, the turret doesn't shoot, it just bugs out and stops spinning. But if you spam stop on the turret, it'll fix it. Or if you just kill the obs, it'll fix it. But that didn't work. So yeah. Wasn't there a second Arbiter as well somewhere? I thought a second one was going in as well, but I don't know what happened to it. Oh, it looks like he just went back. Okay. So yeah, anyway, so with that, WandS is now actually not in great shape. Interestingly, he's running goons into the mines while he's in ops. But he's also still ahead in supply. So he's still 150 supply against, well, Wind's 140 now. It's like 130 just now. So a tiny little supply lead should really technically be a little bit further ahead. Looks like he's not mining the gas there either. More importantly, it's 3 base against 3 base, which is really not ideal for the Protoss. And I already said how it's, you know, not that easy to take a fourth on this map. Really needs another base ASAPly. Oh no, he's gonna get blocked. Oh god, it's just the worst. That is the worst when you're Protoss. Let me tell you, do we have any vessels yet? Well, he got the science facility. Is he only getting upgrades with it? I mean, come on, dude. Your opponent went 2 base Arbiter. Why are you not getting vessels? That's a little bit weird. I mean, he's getting upgrades. He's got the double armors going, so that's pretty good. I hear stuff blowing up. I can't figure out where it is though. It's funny, all these mines are around the SCVs. If one recall does go off in the mineral line here, he can actually just blow up all those SCVs. Even if he kills all the Protoss units, that could be quite devastating. So there's the 4th base finally going up now for WandS. And, you know, he's keeping a small supply lead, and, you know, again, he's got all these Arbiters running around with no science vessels. So if there is a big engagement, like if Terror does decide to move out with no vessels, he could just get whomped by a whole bunch of stasis. Like, these Arbiters are still going to have 2 stasis apiece. WandS, by the way, should really get that. Ah, excellent, he did. I was going to say, he should really get that energy upgrade for his Arbiters, get that in that extra 50 energy. Just, you know, increase the banks. It does give them a slightly better starting energy as well. And of course, then you can have 1 recall and 1 stasis, so you can do cute things like recall the main and then stasis the ramp and that sort of good jazz. Well, some more Voltras going up the top right. Notice there is a double expand here from WandS because he is basically maxed now, so the only thing he can really spend his money on is infrastructure and expansions. And dude needs to like work on his Obs Goon compatibility. Otherwise, it should be good to go. I think we should be able to save this fairly easily. It looks like random drop is going to get spotted as well. And notice that he's left the rest of the units out here, and he's only sent 1 group of units. See, a lot of players would just like completely overreact, send their entire army to deal with this kind of thing. But WandS is only sending a single control group of Dragoons, and I think that's exactly what you should be doing. You should not be sending, you know, half your army or your entire army to deal with some small harassment. That is an easy way to lose a game. You know, you send your entire army up there, the Terran moves out, you're out of position, and he sieges up, and then you're just, you know, you cannot get a good position on him. Leaving most of your units out here to block the attack, block the push is absolutely good. So good job by WandS. Meanwhile, he's added a few gateways as well. He's on 10 gateways. Can definitely use a few more now that he's on, you know, or he should be going up to 5 base soon. Although he'll probably want to also build gateways here, not just in his main base. Looks like got some more Vultures running around, but they're going to get denied. Gotta make sure that the Goons take out the mines and not the Zealots. As you can see, the Zealots tend to clump up a little bit, so the mines can actually really do a number on them. Terror, by the way, is basically maxed now. He's at 2-0. He might just be waiting for that +1 armor to finish. Yeah, the armor's gonna finish in a second, so I think he's just gonna go now. Yeah, and the armor will finish on the way. So here we go. Here's the move out. And here's the question: how effective is WandS' defense gonna be? He's still got a control group of Goons up at the top right that are just so annoyed by these single unit harassment from Terra, and it looks like a few units are not even hotkeyed from WandS or something. His army is quite scattered now, actually. He was in a much better position just now. I don't know why he's gone a little bit crazy. The Obs dying should indicate to him what's coming. He really needs to bring these extra Zealots over. I don't know why he's not bringing those units. He's bringing the Goons back now, just leaving 1 Dragoon to deal with that solitary siege. And here we go! He's moving out. Again, no science vessels anywhere for Terra, and WandS attacking high ground to low ground. Really nice attack position for WandS. Storms as well for WandS. Huge stasis on everything. Oh my god, everything was completely clumped up for Terror. However, all of the Zealots have fallen. I don't know if he should continue here, but it looks like he's going to go for it. But he's going to take massive Dragoon casualties. But no, another fantastic storm. Does WandS have enough to clear up the units, though? He needs to bring the rest of these Zealots. He didn't bring like 20 Zealots in this engagement. If he had brought all those Zealots, he could just surround this and kill it. If he brings them now, he might still be able to. WandS really needs to just take control of his army right now. He wants to kill these units as they come out of stasis. He does not want Terror to reclaim that supply. He's got another full energy Arbiter coming in here to help out the Zealots. Closing with the Siege Axe. He's got more storms on the Templar. He might storm these as soon as they get out of stasis, although the Goliaths might kill the Arbiter. No, another stasis on the back tank. Any more storms? Sorry, another storm on the back tank rather, and it looks like WandS is going to clean up the remnants of this army. WandS is taking out Terror here. Terror down to 117 supply. WandS up at 139. Mining away happily from his 2 additional bases, 5 base to 3 base. He is now in firm command of this game. WandS is owning it up. I told you guys I was the only person to predict WandS to advance, and he is doing me proud. Oh man, looks like one random attack from Terror, trying to be a hero. Terror now back, kind of almost in the same position he was in the beginning of the game, where he went for a failed 2-fact, where now he's like, okay, now I just have to turtle up and do some crazy harassment to get back, because otherwise I'm just going to die. And, well, it's sort of working if WandS feeds him Dragoons, although I don't know how these didn't die. That was a little bit weird. That was like Hydra's A-moving mines, not Dragoons. Anyway, it looks like Terra now has 2 vessels. A little late for that, bro. Although he has kind of caught WandS out of position. WandS' army is like all around the middle of the map here. WandS having some slight large army control issues, but it looks like that doesn't matter when you just stays everything. Oh man, and even though he had the vessels, he went D-Matrix and didn't EMP the Arbiter. So that's gonna be it for that overview units. And bye-bye, rest of the army. Some more vultures over here, don't know what they're gonna do. It's like some vultures coming out. I don't know why these weren't with the main attack here. Terra even gonna have, or it seems to be having some issues here. He's actually floating some money as well. I'm not sure why. Well, I guess the reason is a not ideal macro. Oh no, that's not a wall! Oh shit, I was wondering about this, by the way, because I could have sworn you needed 3 pylons to block that, but it just looked tight, right? It just looked fine. So I was like, oh, I guess you only need 2. And I would have like gone on ladder and only made 2 pylons there and got owned, but actually it doesn't work. So, uh-oh. Oh no, my probes! My poor little probes getting owned. But, yeah, Terra not in good shape. Terra somehow is back at like 150 supply, which is pretty impressive considering he just lost his entire army. WandS, by the way, also hasn't really added the gateways on. And it's just lost like a whole bunch of probes and is no longer really oh my god, he's not even mining with 3 o'clock. Okay, so WandS is actually not as far ahead as I would have thought, given that he won that engagement. I really hope this game doesn't end up like his game against Busy, where he's in like a fantastic position after the initial engagement and then just bleeds out because his follow-up is poor. That'd be quite sad. Ooh, not if he has moves like that though. That's gonna be good. But yeah, it looks like Terra's gonna go back to you know, what was working for him before and just try and out multitask WandS with a lot of vultures all over the place. I mean, the supplies are actually pretty even right now. WandS is actually not even able. He's not even having a macro problem. You can see he just has no money because he just doesn't actually have very good income right now because he just lost all those probes. He's not mining from the 3 o'clock or his natural even. So he's only mining from the top right 2 bases. And it looks like he is going to win another engagement here again, but some reinforcements coming in. I think, is Terra going to be able to save these units? No, he's going to lose the rest of these units. And looks like these units in stasis. Oh man, the goons should just stay here and kill them. I don't know why they're not staying there. I think they're just like A-moved with the rest of the army because he's not paying attention. Now he's going to send them back. And you'll be able to pick them up as well anyway. It doesn't really matter. They're all cloaked now as well. So that is that. So even though it's looking hairy there for a second, like Terra could just come back, but it's pretty grim now. So Terror, he's getting very close to mined out his natural. He's mined out his main. His third base even is relatively thin because he did go for a pretty quick third as well. And again, I don't know how he's going to get a 4th base here on this map. He really needed that initial push to really work and allow him to get another expansion. Because otherwise, you know, he can't just like slowly creep out and turtle up. Anyway, WandS actually seems to be confident enough to go for an attack here. WandS is going for the kill. The 1 random High Templar dropping, getting a couple of decent storms off. A couple of tanks in the back. Most of the Zealots have gone. I don't think WandS will continue, although all the Vultures cover has gone as well. And it looks like WandS is just going to muscle his way through here with the pure Dragoons that are remaining, taking a lot of losses. But it looks like he is going to clean up the rest of the units and doing a bit of mind dodging, a bit of dancing, not killing that last tank for some reason. Alright, there it goes. Up at 146 supply against the 101. Looks like again gonna trade out all these units. Terra's actually somehow snuck a command center from somewhere. I don't know where that came from. You know, some vultures trying to come over here to harass, but plenty of cannons to be found. It looks like the saturation here is actually okay. So WandS at least has that, but it looks like some more harassment at the 3 o'clock position here. WandS really suffering at the hands of these vultures. I mean, you really should just build a cannon in the mineral line instead of just blocking. Meanwhile, a few SCVs are actually going to transfer over to the 9 o'clock at perfect timing as well because his natural is basically gone. And WandS, I mean, he's at 150 supply, but again, his gateway count, okay, it's decent. He's got 11 gateways in the main, and another gateway at the top right. Looks like, oh. Hey, recall! Nice. Gonna deny that command center. Vultures were laying mines to block it. Tanks coming around the bottom. I think he should just run up here, snipe the command center, and run up the top side. Does not really want to fight those tanks, you know, through the choke. And yep, he's going to do exactly that. Gotta be a little bit careful of the mines, but otherwise he is good to go. So nice snipe there from WandS. What's going on in the main base over here? Nothing too interesting. Looks like WandS actually going back as well. Going to lead with the DT to mind bomb. Nice mind bomb there. There's a couple of tanks on the bottom though. It's going to be pretty obnoxious for him to deal with. But look at this, WandS basically maxed again, and now TerrOr down on 135 supply with no bank and very little income. Oh my god, he just mined out. TerrOr has just mined out. Nice stasis on those tanks. He might lose Arbiter. No, not quite. So TerrOr now needs this to survive, or he's going to die. That is, in fact, his natural command center. He just floated that out there because he cannot afford to make another command center. He gets an EMP off, but it looks like it does actually hit the Arbiter, although the Arbiter actually used all of its energy anyway here. I don't know where the rest of WandS' army is, by the way. WandS is max. I don't know where his stuff is. Looks like most of it's back to his natural. Is he just going for another recall or something? I don't know what he's doing. He's going to sacrifice the rest of these units without even trying to save them. I mean, I guess he's got, you know, almost 2k minerals banked, so it's not a huge deal. Okay, he is going for another recall. Is there another EMP? I don't see another EMP. I don't even see any Goliaths. Oh god. Because... Oh man, there's a lot of mines. The mines could blow up the tanks though. Oh, nice move. There's a scam, but it doesn't matter. GG from TerrOr. WandS taking out TerrOr in game number 1 with the first upset of the night, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Can you believe it? Can you believe what just happened? I don't think anybody predicted WandS to take out TerrOr in that first game. It's my boy. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, I do quite like TerrOr as well. He's one of the few good Terrans we have in the foreign scene. So I do want to see him go through as well. But that was exciting. So that means our winner's match is going to be a ZVP between Napoleon and WandS. And we're actually going to have a TBT in the losers match. That'll be interesting. Very rare matchup that is. So, Alright, cool. And both those games will, of course, be on Match Point, 2-player map. And I'll bring you guys the winner's match right after this break.